I am going to rant on today. Rant on, rant on, rant. I got three things really burdening me today. Weighing upon my soul, anguishes and angers that are just to the point that they have to be said, to the point that they have to be out there, to the point that my girlfriend and I, went to Colorado Springs for the weekend last week to enjoy a company holiday party for a company she works for. We enjoyed ourselves. We had a wonderful time at the hotel. We were treated well. Everything was going along blissfully. Until I decided that I was going to be handling and editing video all day, so I put the do not disturb sign on the door so I could handle and record on my videos, do some commentary and other things to the videos that I was going to be posting that next day or so. And my girl gets back from a business meeting. We're getting ready to just run out for a late lunch. We spent 2 hours, out for a late lunch. But she took the do not disturb sign off the door, put on the inside. She figured, all right, he's done with recording for the day. And in that 2 hours, our room was refreshed. And almost $1,000 worth of my girl's jewelry was stolen. We don't know how that could ever happen. We've never had that kind of problem before. Those are long-term employees. We've known them for a long time. They would never do anything like that. Are you sure you didn't leave the door unlocked or open during the day? Yes, I'm damn sure. Why? Because my ass was sitting in the room recording. I was using the door as a buffer to keep the noise out. So no, I didn't have it open, ajar, or anything else. But, my girl took out the bag. She put her favorite ring on, and we went out to lunch. Now, had she not put her favorite ring on, the cost of what got lost would have been so much greater. But something that the problem is that this problem is threefold. For one, the hotel was at fault because the only people that touched our room were their staff members. The rest of the day, I was in the room. I was only gone for 2 hours. They refreshed one of the two beds. The other bed wasn't even unmade. No need to refresh it. So they refreshed the one bed. They didn't take any of the cups or anything else out. They didn't clean up the room in any real way. They refreshed the bed. But because the bag may have been in sight, the little plastic bag that she had mostly costume jewelry in, but she had some expensive pieces in there, was in her luggage bag, and we didn't have it zipped closed. Bang, so many things they can just stick it in their pocket and walk off with it. So they did, and that's fine. I'm angry at the hotel for that reason, or I should say the motel for that reason. But I'm also pretty aggravated with the Colorado Springs police. I'm very angry with the management of the hotel because at first it was, well, you need to fill out this form. Okay, fill out the form. Well, you need to speak to the manager in the morning. Okay, we speak to the manager in the morning. Well, you need to get a police report. Okay. And then we called the Colorado Springs Police Department, which acted like the damn city was on fire all day. All right, we're talking during the day, early December. Now, I know the crisis incidents arise during the time between Thanksgiving and New Year's. All the pressures people feel from like a week, from actually Halloween, or if you want to go the day before, which often called the Devil's Night, the stress levels ramp up at the end of the year. And those stress levels cause people to act out in strange and unusual ways. Almost like they used to say, where the phases of the moon would affect the people and they called them lunatics. Well, during this time of the year, everywhere in the world, people just get crazy. Now, part of that is the cabin fever that occurs from cold winter days that they're adjusting to having to be inside all the time as compared to being outside and doing something. But whatever the reason is, sociological or otherwise, fact is the Colorado Springs police were too busy for 3.5 hours to get around to us. We had a felony level issue. And nope, just not going to happen. They're not even going to come out. And there was one piece of evidence in the room because we had some costume jewelry that my girl bought that she still had on the card from the store she bought it in because she thought it would go well with her dress. So she bought it specifically not because it was an expensive piece of jewelry, but because it was what would fit the outfit she was wearing to the party the next night. Still had them on the card. The card was on the table, but the earrings that were on it were missing. So the person who perpetrated this crime, their fingerprints would have been on that card. I was considering picking up the card with a plastic bag and pulling the plastic bag over it and sealing it, bringing it with us to the police department. But even then, they wouldn't have fingerprinted it because unless it had, blood and maybe entrails and chicken bones spelling out the name of the perpetrator. So they acted like, for 3 hours they were like, well, there are emergencies that need to be responded to all over the city first. And they acted like there wasn't even a single officer that was available to even call us. It was just, there was so much chaos, panic, and disorder in Colorado Springs that, oh my God, the universe was going to explode! So policemen, I respect police officers. I do not like cops, but I can respect police officers. They have a hard job to do. They are asked by society if they'd be so kind as to enforce the laws that the common populace has agreed that this is a set of rules we all would like to live by. Okay, some of those rules are set in some basic stone from way back when, several thousand years ago. If you want to go down to the first laws, written down maybe with Moses and tablets, from the mountainside. And much of the law of the United States reflects that concept from the Judeo-Christian ethics that existed. But, protect and serve my... because... the police officers are too burdened dealing with the guff they get because cops. Oh, by the way, let me explain the difference. Police officers, they are respectfully requested by society to be so kind as to enforce the rules laid out for them. Okay. Cops work for the exact same organization, but they jackasses with badges. So, the jackasses with badges make the decent guys, and I'm not saying honest, I'm saying decent, the guys that try to do the right thing. I'm not saying perfect. I'm not saying don't make mistakes and poor judgments and aren't sometimes pushed to a point where they make bad decisions. I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is that the police officers are overwhelmed by the huge amount of garbage created by the conflict cops create. And then, when a police department is too busy to deal with a felony level theft, because, hey, well, you could put it in so that if you don't have any absolute perpetrator information, you can do it over the internet. Hey, we're here, we're in town, we need to leave town and get to the babysitter before the child with the babysitter gets to a pumpkin, and you got us sitting around 3.5 hours with our thumbs up our butts because you can't do your job because the city's on fire. I think that the Colorado Springs, this is actually 2 weekends ago because it's not this recent weekend, it was 2 weekends ago. But I think the Colorado Springs police department wouldn't know what to do if they were in the middle of a situation like the Watts riots or, the blackouts in New York City in the 70s, in the 80s. Things were looting, rioting, and everything. I mean, if a day when, it's all work-a-day stuff, doing all this stuff, can't tell me there weren't a healthy percentage of the police department that was on break. Oh, but see, yeah, they can't deal with a felony level crime because they're on break. So yeah, I'm very upset with the Colorado Springs Police Department. I'm very upset with our motel. And then, to top it all off, the motel would have refunded us the stay. They would have refunded us our motel stay. Except that we went through an online service, in particular Priceline.com. Now, because when you book the hotel with Priceline, you are paying for it to get that extreme advantage of the Priceline, lock in a good price. There's only one room left at this price. You want to hop on it now? And we wanted to have a place we knew we were going to, so we would have a place that we knew we could go to to put all our stuff while she went off and did business and had the business meetings she had to deal with, and I could sit down and work on my recordings. And what happens? Voila! Because we paid through Priceline. We prepaid our stay, and because the motel hasn't gotten their cut, they couldn't even discount our stay. They couldn't refund our stay. They couldn't do anything. Because we were such good customers that we laid out the money ahead of time and guaranteed we were going to be showing up to get the room instead of getting billed at the end of the day. We got billed in front and couldn't be refunded the billing because even though we got screwed, we screwed ourselves by going through Priceline. So, I have to admit, it's the last time I'm going through an online service. I don't care what kind of deal they can cut us. Because, at least we would have gotten a couple of $100 back. And it wouldn't have mitigated the loss, but it would have at least felt like somebody cared about the fact that something important was stolen from somebody that was a customer of theirs. Will Priceline refund my girl's money? I don't think so. You know why? Because he negotiated us into a negotiation where we cannot renegotiate and unnegotiate ourselves from his negotiation. So the Priceline negotiator just screwed me and screwed my girl. You know something? That's a no-no. That's a bad biscuit you just bit into. So, I may use those services to find the hotel I want to use, but then I'm going to call that hotel directly, make the arrangements, make the booking, get myself in there. May or may not get the discount rate, but at least I can get a refund at the end of the day if they screw something up. If they can't get anything right. And the worst part was, the pool was perfect. The hot tub that was attached to the pool, blissful. The room was nice. Everything was quiet. We could enjoy ourselves. There was the little fridge. We had a good time until somebody decided they wanted something more than what we owned it for. And that just irks the hell out of me. Because you know something? Who the hell are they to decide that they want our stuff more than we want our stuff? You know, this is why hotel and hospitality workers should be bonded. And if you can't be bonded, you shouldn't be in that industry. Well, I see that I've gotten a little irked by the end of this. I slowly worked into it. It's been in a slow rolling boil for over a week. And now I've just realized exactly how annoyed I am. Almost cross-eyed with annoyance. Well, this is where I'm going to have to say, peace out. I hope my Illuminars and Mysterians will not make the mistake of prepaying for a booking through a service online. Find the hotel you want. Go, hey, you're offering this hotel room through Priceline, Kayak, whatever, at XYZ price. I'm coming to you directly. And what can you do for me? Because you better be at least able to do that. Because if I can book it through them for cheaper, then why would I go to you directly? Yeah, here's my credit card information. This is, so I can reserve the room. I'd have had to do that anyway. But at least then, having not prepaid, just giving them the card number to reserve the room, we wouldn't have had to been charged. They could have adjusted the room down to 0. And we could have walked away, no bills, since we didn't get any incidentals or anything else. Because of that, we couldn't get a refund. So I don't trust the online services anymore. That find you a hotel cheap. Yeah, it's because they get their cut. The hotel, motel doesn't get money until after you're long gone. So the motel, hotel, spa, day and resort can't give you any kind of compensation. So, peace out, my Illuminars and Mysterians. I love y'all, and hopefully we can find some peace and solace in the run. But today, not a peace and solace day. I may break down pieces of this into other rants that I may do, but this was the get it off my chest stuff, and I hope you have a great day, because I kept this to 20 minutes. Oh, so peace out. Love y'all.